This is Power Lines, the show that pulls back the curtain on how power really works. Your hosts are Robbie and Terry, both 15. Every week they break down who really runs things and how regular people can push back.
Welcome back to Power Lines, the show that pulls back the curtain on how power really works. I'm Terry.
And I'm Robbie, and today we're answering the question you thought Schoolhouse Rock already answered. How does a bill actually become a law?
Spoiler, it's way more complicated than a cartoon singing on the steps of Congress.
Like significantly more paperwork and significantly more chances for things to go quietly sideways.
So let's start at the beginning. Anybody can have an idea for a law, a citizen, a lobbyist, even the president.
But only a member of Congress can actually introduce it as a bill. That's the first gatekeeping moment.
And the second the bill lands, it gets sent to a committee. This is where most bills go to quietly disappear.
We're talking about thousands of bills introduced every session. In a typical 2-year Congress, around 10,000 bills get introduced.
10,000 and only a few hundred become law. That's like a less than 5% survival rate.
So a committee chair, one person, can just decide your bill never gets a hearing. Done, buried. Goodbye.
That's enormous power for one person most Americans couldn't name.
Committees are basically the bouncers of the legislative process, and they have a very long guest list of no.
If a bill survives committee, mark your calendar, it's a big day, it goes to a floor vote.
But even then, in the Senate, another tool can stop it cold: the filibuster.
The filibuster means any senator can essentially talk a bill to death, keeping debate open indefinitely.
To shut down a filibuster, you need 60 votes out of 100 senators. That's called cloture.
60 is a really high bar when the Senate is split almost 50-50 most of the time.
It means a determined minority can block something the majority actually wants, which is either a great feature or a terrible bug, depending on who you ask.
We report, you decide, okay, so let's say a bill clears the Senate, it still has to match the House version exactly.
If the two chambers pass slightly different versions, and they almost always do, the bill goes to a conference committee.
More negotiation, more compromise, more chances for something to quietly fall out of the final draft.
And then finally it lands on the president's desk. They can sign it, veto it, or just not sign it.
If the president does nothing for 10 days and Congress is in session, the bill becomes law automatically. No signature needed.
Which is a weird little loophole that doesn't come up much in civics class.
And if the president vetoes it, Congress can override with 2/3 of both chambers voting yes.
2/3 of both chambers agreeing on anything in today's climate is basically a miracle.
Historically, less than 10% of vetoes ever get overridden. The president's pen is pretty powerful.
So to recap the gauntlet: survive committee, get scheduled for a vote, pass the floor, survive the other chamber, conference, president, done.
Each of those steps is a place where one person, one procedural rule, one political calculation can end everything.
And most bills never even get a committee hearing. They're introduced, they die quietly, and nobody holds a funeral.
Which is why the bills that do pass are often the ones with serious money, serious momentum, or serious crisis behind them.
A disaster, a war, an economic collapse. Nothing moves legislation like a deadline the whole country is watching.
It also means a lot of slow burn problems, housing, infrastructure, climate, can wait and wait and wait because there's no single dramatic moment forcing action.
The system was actually designed to move slowly. The founders were scared of hasty laws passed in a panic.
which made sense in the 1700s. Whether it still makes sense is one of the great ongoing arguments in American politics.
And we genuinely think it's worth arguing about, because understanding how the machine works is the first step to deciding if it needs a tune-up.
The more you know about where bills actually die, the better questions you can ask the people who control those switches.
Like, why did this bill never get a hearing? Who chairs that committee? Who funds that chair's campaign?
Follow the power, follow the process, and suddenly civics gets a lot more interesting than a cartoon on Saturday morning.
No offense to that cartoon, the song is genuinely a banger.
Undeniable. Okay, that's our episode. If there's a topic you want us to pull the curtain back on, send us a message.
And keep asking the uncomfortable questions, because the answers are usually hiding in plain sight. See you next week on Power Lines.